introduce James Maness. He is a native Tennessean, born and raised in the Volunteer State. After graduating from high school, James went to college in Dallas, Texas, and holds an associate degree in information technology and a bachelor's degree in business administration. He currently works as an IT manager for an international company headquartered here in Nashville. He and his wife, Tracy, are active in their local church, where James serves on the board of trustees and as an elder. They enjoy spending time with their girls, riding bicycles, and traveling to the Smoky Mountains. James was first elected District 2 City Commissioner in November of 2010. He was then appointed Vice Mayor in April 2011 and has been reappointed to the position 4 times, making James the city's longest-serving Vice Mayor. In November 2020, James was elected as the 14th mayor of the city of Mount Juliet. In addition, James serves on the Wilson County Mount Juliet Development Board and Greater Nashville Regional Council Transportation Policy Board. Say that a few times. It's a long one. James champions customer service, public safety, planning, and government. We have honored to have him here today, James Maness.
Rochelle, thank you for the introduction there. You know, one thing though we have to do before next year, assuming we have another State of the City address, is we got to correct a few little things on there that's outdated. But that's okay. I'm a politician, so I'll take anything that you want to say about me, really, as long as it's good. It wouldn't take bad press. What size was the flag you were talking about, Mr. Bonder? Was it like 500 or 600 feet or so?
505 by 225.
505 by 225. You know, that's impressive. But you know what I want to see? I want to see the flagpole that thing goes on. You know, if you've got your phone, and I assume everybody has their phone, you've been asked to silence it. It'll be fun if you don't. But we have a QR code here. Listen, this QR code here will let you participate in this speech I'm doing. It'll also provide air cover if you want to watch reels, if you get bored, or you want to look at your emails or anything else. We'll just all assume you're prepping for what we're putting up here. So this is your ultimate get out of free. Yeah, you might have to use the Zoom feature on it to get to it, but we'll get started. I just want to say, you know, before we get started, look right here, we're just asking, what do you love about Mount Juliet? Just put your answers in there. They're going to populate. I trust we can all be adults with what we put up on the screen. I've been to conferences before where we've had to pull them down real quick. So let's not be that group. Just wanted to say, starting off, thank you for the invitation to be here. It means a lot. Appreciate your flexibility with the weather last week. I know Mark was texting me. He's like, leaving Florida, had to rub it in. And he's like, I don't know if we can have this if school's out. Yeah, I like that one. It's mayor. But I appreciate your flexibility in being here. And, you know, I know last week's weather wasn't the best, and it's a big difference this week, and what a week's difference makes on it. You know, I got one I gotta talk about, and I'm gonna let this run for just a second before I do. I'm gonna take this opportunity and take the lid off this thing while holding a microphone, and hope y'all are distracted by the screen. I'll tell you, you know what I love about this community? The Chamber of Commerce, and it's not for any reason that you think necessarily. I want you to know the Chamber of Commerce here in Mount Juliet is like a fountain of youth. My children have bugged me about my fading color of my hair and everything else, but when it comes to the Chamber of Commerce, they have a way of just like preserving that youthful look. Small town community feel, community. I wonder where some people work that might put these comments in. It feels Luke home. Very well run city. I like that. Public safety. Yeah, these are license plate readers. Does somebody work for the license plate company here? Public safety, the lakes. good, genuine people. Yeah, these are all great things. But like I said, I love the Chamber of Commerce. They have a way like Fountain of Youth. I mean, look at this guy here that they put in this fire. Look at this. I wish my hair still had some color like that in it. Also, we'll go ahead and plug Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital while we got it up on the screen and thank them for their support. I've actually been, I guess, a patient, customer, patient, we'll go with patient. I've tried the emergency room out. I got to give it 2 thumbs up. Got me in, got me out. I'm here today. That was back in July, so good job. Appreciate it. Took great care of me right before the holiday. I think I was, I think they said the 3rd or 4th person there for appendicitis that day. And spoiler alert, I didn't have appendicitis, I mean that, but you know, they cleared that up for me. Well, we also got our board here today. Of course, I'm James Maness, the mayor. We've got our vice mayor here, Mr. Bill Trevette. Thank you. We've also got Commissioner Giles is with us, Commissioner Mullally, got Commissioner Hefner up here. These are the guys that make the decisions with the city. I'm just the one who sits in the middle and looks cute, but you know, they do the work, and we got a great running city. We got some other people that, you know, I wouldn't say behind the scenes because Kenny Martin is not behind any scene out there. This man is front and center. I don't know, can I use the word embodies Mount Juliet? He really does. A lot of the things that we saw up on the slide, this man represents, you know, really every day. Sheila Luckett, she told me she was going to be in the mountains today. I said, geez, I got to give a speech. Can I come too? Got Michael Mullins, our police chief, Mark Folks, Tyler Chandler, our deputy chief of police, Joey Edwards. Mr. Edwards is Rocky. Did I see Rocky? I saw somebody look like Rocky. God bless you. Travis Taylor, Matt White, Public Works Director, Dana Heyer, Finance Director, Lynn Gore, HR Director, Jennifer Hamlin, and John Bachman. He is here, our city planner. Just appreciate you guys and everything that you do to make this city what it is. Mr. Marty Potts. You see Marty out working, city codes, city liaison, city beautiful, city everything some days. Shane Sherman, with the engineering director, Justin Beasley, communications director, Samantha Burnett, our newest aide. Sam's doing a great job. She sits up there by me. She tells me I can't do certain things, which is probably the best interest of the city, especially from a legal standpoint. Mr. Tim Forkham with our utilities division. We'll jump right into it. We've got some projects that we completed here locally, the roundabout that you see outside of Willoughby Station Boulevard and South Green Hill Road. This is a totally city-funded project on this. It's done some nice safety improvements along the way. It's transformed the intersection as we know it. It's taken a challenging intersections with its distance from the railroad tracks here and provided a way that we can safely navigate that with the preemptive controls that go on with the railroad tracks, handling that, making sure that we're not got backups on it. They've done a really great job. Added walkability on it, some drainage improvements, really just enhanced the area. Also got the Cedar Creek Trailhead. This is right on the backside of Park Glen. This is a nice project that the city has taken on, creating another. Does anybody know what these are? Pickleball courts. Got these added out here, and these are just some projects that the city has taken on this year to complete. Got some other things that the city's been working on with development funded, such as Division Street, Golden Bear Gateway. This is funded by Amazon. I think the cost was around $400,000. The Woodridge sidewalks, I hear, is getting very close to, I got a fan out there, very close to being complete. At the time we made this, there were 2 walking bridges that we were waiting on to be delivered. They were still on track. Of course, Commissioner Giles there has been working hard to lead the way with developer funding money to assist us with Lebanon Road widening as well. We've got East Division Street that Amazon has contributed to for the widening efforts there. You've got several developments that have contributed to Old Lebanon Dirt Road for the road widening and safety improvements that you see coming together there. A lot of these are under engineering. A lot of these are going under construction real soon. State-funded projects. We've got Lebanon Road Phase 2 sidewalks complete. So now you can walk from Mount Juliet Road up to the entrance of Park Glen, and you don't have to get in the road to do it. That project itself is 95% state funded with a 5% local match on the construction on this. So, I thank folks like Matt White who work hard to make sure that we're in the right position to be able to take advantage of these grants. Of the light at Volunteer Boulevard at Golden Bear Gateway. There's another one, $500,000 funded project, South Green Hill Road and Division Street. At one time, that was probably the oldest light in the city. Not saying it was there first, but I think the equipment itself was some of the oldest in the city. That was a $600,000 project that the state funded for us to take on and really enhance the light that we have at that area. I already got questions about this. Central Pike Interchange. How many know the city gave the state $25 million to get this project working? That's not right exactly. I tricked you. We've offered $25 million to get the project frontline. Somebody said, "Are you bribing them?" I said, "Well, they wouldn't let them take guns in the Capitol, so it had to bring money." But yeah, well, if you lived around here any time at all, you know that this is a project that's been talked about probably since the 80s. And it's always going to be, it's one of those things that's always going to be done somewhere in the next 10 years. And we're sitting here as a city, and we've again got a project. And it really didn't matter when I asked. It was like, take today's date plus 10, and that seemed to be the answer on this. So we got together, went up to the state, of course, talked with the governor up there and put together a proposal for trying to enhance this. And they were coming back with a 10-year plan on this. They said about 17, I think the number is 17% of the projects were submitted statewide were accepted. I get feedback from TDOT, if we didn't do what we did, stepping up with the offer to move this, that this was a generation away from seeing this improvement. And if you drive South Mount Juliet Road, if you try to get through Providence at the right time of day, we don't have a generation to wait for this project. We need this project done as quickly as possible. So we recently passed a resolution, and it says the city of Mount Juliet is going to immediately start funding, waiting on the contract to come back from the state to sign that, but it says the city is going to start funding the right-of-way efforts, securing all the right-of-way on this. We're on target to get that underway before the end of the year. There's probably about 2 years' worth of right-of-way and utility work on this, and we'll have the project positioned to be able to go to construction as soon as 2028 on that. That does not mean that it will go to construction on 2028. But what that does mean, if we don't do these things, we can't go to construction on 2028, but we are going to do everything in our power to have this project ready to be positioned to go. Some of the 10-year plan normally comes out in December. It's delayed this year because of the flooding out in East Tennessee. Though a lot of the funds that TDOT has for improvements have been relocated out there. I saw today they announced that they hope very soon, maybe as soon as this weekend or next week, have I-40 back open, at least one lane in each direction. But they're still saying it's going to be years until that entire interstate, both sides, is opened. But that's kind of caused a little reshuffling of the funds. Got some positive news that the feds were going to fund what has been spent by the state on it. We're still waiting for the final numbers on it. We wanted to clarify our position with the state that any additional funding from the city is for the escalation of the timeline. It's not a blanket gift to the state of Tennessee to do it when they get ready. So we said if it's not started at the latest by 2031, we're pulling 25% of the funding back that we've committed. And each year after that, we're pulling additional 25% of that funding back. So the money that we're putting forward is not to see it completed in the next generation, or when you ask me next year to give you a date 10 years from now. It is to get this project started as quickly as can be started. All right, a little question. Time to get your phones out. True or false? James Maness, Justin Beasley, and Jennifer Hamlin have been escorted out of 3 businesses. We'll just, to make it fair, we'll say just in the year 2024. It's exact, out of 3. We work hard for you, by the way. So does security in some places. Wow, wow, wow. God, what kind of criminals do you think we are? Of course it's false, folks. We've only been escorted out of 2 businesses in 2024. I don't want to call names of any that may have kicked us out for I don't know, doing our jobs. But I recently bought a BJ's membership. They got a sale going on right now. I missed the $15 offer, but I think you can still find it online for $20. I think it's normally $60, by the way. Now we got, of course, Costco is open to some, I hear. Sprouts is coming. Anyone heard of Sprouts? Tim Hortons? Canadian coffee, I hear. Another Chipotle. You know you can measure a city's worth by the number of Chipotles. And we just moved up to a second factor on the Chipotle meter. Salvo's Pizza, one of those ways. It's just good, whatever. You call it anything you want. Texas Roadhouse, someone said they're coming. I've already downloaded that app on my phone. I mean, I checked the wait ahead, or what is it, the wait for seating, see if I can get on there. I was like, they ain't even got a construction. But our ECDs did ask that I announce that they are focused on locally owned, high-end restaurants. So if you're wondering out there, we are working hard to recruit those businesses. We're trying to get things in here that people are asking for, and the feedback. We got a lot of things going. A lot of people are interested in Mount Juliet, and we're interested in getting them into Mount Juliet. Anybody see this? Yeah. I saw this announcement, Slick City was coming. I thought, Slick City? You know, first thought I had was that like an oil change place. And I took a look at the picture and I thought, this kind of reminded me of the tour we took at Under Armour with those conveyor belts coming down. But no, this is going to be a nice addition to the city. My notes said it's going to be on the Planning Commission tomorrow. Well, that was, that was last week. So it's going through the Planning Commission, moving ahead. It's one of the things that we are focusing on, the quality of life. We got a lot of people asking for family activities. This is going to be a great addition to the city, and I mean it's strategically placed. We got all these slides. We got an ER right across the street at the ER, across the interstate, so it should. Oh, sure, yeah. Planning and zoning's been very busy. You know, it's just we do everything we can to keep the city in the best shape that it can, as far as the quality of stuff that we bring in. One thing that I focus on, I hear a lot of things, feedback. Low density, low density, low density. At the same time, we have to balance that. Low density means less to pay for more infrastructure to get to the density. So we have to balance that things. But, we're trying to strategically position ourselves into things with thoughts of like infrastructure that has to be in place. Our first responders being able to cover things when it comes. I'm unapologetically opposed to just sprawl for the sake of sprawl, because we've got to be mindful of our resources and how we cover those things. I do have one other proposal that I would like the chamber members' feedback on. Before and you know, the resolution's already been reviewed by our attorney. She's shaking her head. Now, she's not saying she hasn't reviewed it. She has seen it. I know she's seen it. But I didn't want to move ahead if, you know, without the chamber's blessing on this. Maybe a show of hands. I won't by any means try to take credit for this. Somebody tagged me on a Facebook post, so I said, this is going in the state of the city. This is too good. Go for Mount Juliet, everyone. Oh, now for paying for that golf. Okay, what you're seeing here is a representation of over $17 million of investments in the capital projects for the city. You're seeing that the city's expenditures are about 2% debt payments. 35% of that is going to public safety and emergency services. So what you see here is a reflection of the board's priorities for the city, and public safety and emergency services are right there at the top. You see our property tax, 11 cents, collects a little bit over $2 million. It's been roughly pretty stable in those numbers for the last few years. All right, who's got the phone out? If the property tax revenue is roughly $2 million, how much revenue does sales tax generate for the city? Is that the same amount? 2 times the amount? 5 times as much, or greater than 5 times? You gotta lock in your answers. You know, when you stand up here, it feels like a long time. All right, we're going to be greater than 5 times. Man, y'all are smart people. Yeah, brought in a little over $20 million, which is a 5% increase. So it's closer to 10 times than 5 times on it, but greater than 5 times was the right answer. So I will keep echoing, shop Mount Juliet. Shop it often, and then when you've shopped it, shop it some more. There's our sales tax revenue. We saw we've recently, well, last year, I'll say, come in at $2.3 million on our biggest month ever. We've been in a steady position. You can see roughly a 76% increase from 2022 to 2024. So thank you. Thank you for everything you do to make that happen and keeping shopping in Mount Juliet. And this is, of course, where our revenues come in from. The taxes, which is our local taxes that are collected, and our intergovernment are two biggest things. The intergovernmental funding is the state shared revenues that the states are collecting that's coming back to the cities. And those make up our 2 of our bulk sources for the general fund. Of course, we maintain a AAA rating. Anyone heard of the Mount Juliet Police Department? They're on social media too. If you didn't know, you can follow them there. Have a pretty good Facebook following. And I think you have more people following you on social media than we have population. I think I have 12. Now we got a new headquarters coming along, a $35 million investment, state-of-the-art headquarters, emergency communications center, and evidence storage. All those things are extremely important to being able to operate in the city that we do at the level that we do. Facility upgrades, replacement of the facility building, new larger classrooms. This is out at the firing range, and done a lot of work up there. I took a class in that building probably 15, 16, 17 years ago, and it was old then, so it was time for an upgrade. New station, so I follow there, I believe the date is June is the substantial completion date on this, so that's when it'll be substantially complete, and with a target of moving in, I said before Halloween, I think their substantial was October timeframe, we'll move in on this. So they've done a lot of work, and this is the first, I guess the right word is purpose-built police station that we've seen. City Hall is where we're at now. You know, when I first got elected, the police department was downstairs around the courtroom, wherever you could put them. The former church has served their needs for many years. They were over in the Senior Citizen Center for a while, so a lot of history there, but this is the first purpose-built building for them. Question for you. Population growth contributes to an increase in crime. And this question's asked in the context of Mount Juliet. As the population increases, crime rate goes up, or is that not the case? It's not. So 54% say no, 46% say yes. So let's go into that. You've got a police department that's got no vacancies. They've got 33 life-saving awards. Our population has increased, but here we're showing incidents going down, and we'll look at some more slides and we'll show that our crime rate is going down in many, many areas in this city, and overall is decreasing. So they lead the state in cities with populations over 15,000 in proactive police activities. So what does that mean? Well, yes, that's the easy translation. But there's two times to deal with crime. There's two times to deal with criminals. One is after they commit a crime, or the second one, which I prefer, is getting them off our streets before they have the opportunity to commit a crime in Mount Juliet. And if you're a city that's got the choice, we're going to take that one. Proactive, and that's why we lead the state and the population around 15,000 and greater in the proactive things, because of the great effort they do. Mount Juliet's crime trends, look at burglary, down 24% from 23 to 24. Mount Juliet continues to maintain one of the lowest crime rates in the region, even compared to other cities across Tennessee. Mount Juliet in the latest data, Mount Juliet has the lowest combined crime rate for crimes against persons and crimes against property in Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Look at this. Robbery down 75% from 2006 to 2024. You know, they use advanced technologies to do their jobs, but you know, I was having lunch with someone and they said, well, you know, they got a lot of tools at their disposal, and they do. They do have a lot of tools at their disposal. But you know, it really, in my mind, it goes back to this. I'm gonna go back up the slide here. 0 staffing vacancies, because it's about the people that we have here that get the work done. The tools are great, and we're going to continue to invest in tools, and we're going to continue to give our guys the tools that they need to get the job done. But when it comes down to it, it's the boots on the ground that are making this happen. It's the proactive policing. It's the work that they're doing. You know, just adding cameras, and I saw somebody said cameras, but just adding cameras doesn't address the problem. The cameras can set off alarms, but you actually have to have the guys in place to do it. And how's Mount Juliet been so successful with getting those guys? Well, great leadership in the department. But you know, it also goes back to the community. If you want to serve in a police department, do you want to work in a community that provides obstacles to what you're doing, or isn't supportive, or do you want to work someplace that's supportive? And you know what? This community has been hands down supportive of their efforts and everything that they've done. And that's one of the main reasons that we're able to attract the people that we're attracted, is the community support that they have for the police department, the concerns that people have with this, and the pride that we take in our community. And, you know, as far as those tools, talking about those tools, we're seeing about 95% of the criminal offenders, they're not from this community. So think of that for a moment. The numbers of people that we're removing from the community that are coming in proactively, that says a lot for where that crime rate might be otherwise. And I'd rather see high proactive crime numbers than the other way around. Shoplifting, from 23 to 24 down 2%, but if you back it up over a 4-year period, down 22%. Some other numbers: cars stolen 23-24, down 25%. Burglary down 26%. Theft of vehicles down 29%. And a larger historical perspective, cars stolen down 54% from 17 to 24. Theft from vehicles down 67% from 2008 to 24. And they do a great job, folks. And they're out there working hard every day to make sure that this stays the safest city in the community. Our Middle Tennessee. Tennessee probably as well. Our fire department. Man, talk about another group working hard to keep us safe. Accomplishments. They got a new station underway. We joked the one there behind City Hall. I don't know that anybody actually knows really how old that building is. We just know it's old. Had a great aunt. She turned 88, and I got talking to my mother, and she said, well, she's not really sure if she's 88 or not. It blows my wife's mind from my family stories, but she's not really sure if she's 88 or not. I said, well, they just kind of narrow it down with how old her older sibling was and her youngest sibling, so you got a window in there, so you got to slot your age in there somewhere. But it's kind of like that station. We don't know exactly how old that thing is. It's been around. It's served this community well, but it's time that we've got the ball moving on that newer station for them. We took delivery of 3 new ambulances, 2 new fire engines. 3 ambulances in service. We've had 3 ambulances in service now for 14 months. We finally, I say for the first time, we're finally going to have a reserve engine in service. So the department's been in service since 2013, and we're going to have a reserve engine for the first time only. Our first time ever, I bet there's a way to say it. But we got one of those 2 of the new ambulances online, and the third one coming online here very quickly. And here's another question for you. How many cities in Tennessee provide EMS transport? That's ambulance service. Saved by the question. So you got a choice of 10, 27, 88, or all of them. Oh, the leader is 27, followed by 10. Oh, 10 just got smaller. 10% of you think all of them do. 88 has got 20. Oh, it's going, their number. These are live numbers. Would you like to know what the answer is? Mount Juliet is just one of 10 cities to provide transport EMS. Just one of 10. They've seen an 8% increase in calls, dispatch calls for service. These guys have been active. They have attended over 283. I could say over because it's been at least 2 or 3 weeks since these slides were prepared. 283 events that they've attended. And we just mentioned the increase in calls. This is going to be the first time ever that we expect to see exceed the 5,000 calls for the first time in the department. I got a text that we're projecting 7,500 calls by 2028. The department is busy putting in other improvements. I think just a week or so ago, a few days ago, maybe a corrector way, I said corrector while giving a speech. You don't get that very much. Division Street and North Mount Juliet, they're putting in a preemptive traffic signaling in there so that emergency services can be able to alert that and be able to move around the city. Somebody said this had sound on it. I really didn't think it had sound. But emergency medical incidents increased 11%. We're expecting to get around north of 3,000 calls for service. And that's 11% growth in EMS calls. We got the Parks Department doing a great job. The clock tower is what we used to call the park there. That has now been renamed Veterans Park. You see the plaques that are put in this, and this is to honor our veterans here in the city of Mount Juliet. I got to thank the Parks Department for the great job that they do. Someone jokingly called them the leisure department, but those guys do a lot. Everything from taking care of the mowing in the city, the maintaining of the trails, all those things that have to be done. They stay on top of it. And guys, this is my favorite slide when I'm giving the speech. This is the last slide. And I've got one other thing that I've neglected to do, and I looked down and seen it, so I'm going to go quick. Who can tell me what year the city was founded? All right, you're a winner. Pass that over. This has been donated by Sisters Wemsley. Good job, Rob. Who was released from the hospital? Who was just released from the hospital? Anyone? Oh, all right. I actually thought Lee would jump on that one. Who drove the furthest to get here? Yeah. East Nashville. Anybody beat East Nashville? Tina? East Nashville sounds like a winner to me. The year the Mount Juliet Fire Department was founded, I even said it. Who said that? All right, 2013. Last one. How many parks does the city have? Who said 10? 10. Yeah, thank you. All right, folks, we've got through another State of the City. You guys did a much better job than I did, but I appreciate you coming out, and thank you. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Mount Juliet Chamber, a donation will be made in the city's name for Wilson County Books from Birth.
Very
There you go.
nice.
Thank you. We'll take a picture. Well, he can get one.